Diamonds are not doing very well. Our revenue generation is therefore down, and down by huge percentages. We have a pending situation where the agreement between ourselves and our partners in De Beers has not been signed, has not been concluded. It is a matter of urgent necessity to conclude that agreement. First, to create a sense of stability and restore the confidence of business people within the country.
For decades, Botswana has been the silent powerhouse of the diamond world. Rich in resources, it plays by someone else's rules. At the top of that chain is De Beers, the name that shaped the industry, dictated prices, and controlled supply for over a century. But now, the game is changing. A new deal has been signed, a 25-year contract that secures Botswana's diamond future until 2054. On paper, it's a partnership, mutual benefits, long-term commitments, billions of dollars in guaranteed investment. But beneath the surface, it's something much bigger. Is Botswana breaking free from De Beers' grip? Or is this just a longer leash? For the first time, Botswana's Okavango Diamond Company will take direct control of a significant portion of its diamonds, starting at 30% and increasing to 50% over time. But this isn't just about who sells the dia, let's find out. For decades, Botswana's diamonds fueled the global market, but the profits, they were controlled elsewhere. Botswana had the resources, yet the system was designed to keep it in a secondary role. A producer, not a power broker. De Beers held the reins, deciding where, when, and how Botswana's diamonds were sold. That was the old model. But this new agreement? It's not just an adjustment, it's a structural shift. At the center of this transformation is a gradual transfer of power. Right now, 30% of Botswana's rough diamond production goes to Botswana's Okavango Diamond Company (ODC). In just 5 years, that number will increase to 40%, and within a decade, it will hit 50%, a full equal share with De Beers. But this isn't just about numbers, it's about leverage. With every percentage increase, Botswana takes one more step away from dependency. It is shifting from a supplier in a foreign-controlled system to an independent player with its strategy, pricing, and buyers. This isn't just an increase in revenue, it's a gradual takeover of an industry that has long dictated its fate. De Beers has always set the price of Botswana's diamonds, deciding their market value based on its corporate interests. That changes now. Over the next decade, Botswana will break free from these pricing models, no longer having to accept valuations dictated by external forces. Instead, it will develop its valuation strategies, pricing its diamonds according to national priorities rather than a foreign company's profit margins. This shift is fundamental. Once Botswana controls how its diamonds are priced, it controls how much it earns. And that's just the beginning. For years, Botswana's diamonds have been sold through De Beers' tightly controlled global network, where the company acted as an intermediary between the mines and the buyers. This system ensured that no producer had direct access to the international market, forcing them to accept whatever terms De Beers provided. But with this agreement, Botswana is bypassing the middleman altogether. As its ownership increases, it will start forming direct relationships with international buyers, cutting out unnecessary layers and securing better deals. This means greater profits, more negotiating power, and complete independence from De Beers' supply chain monopoly. Alongside this, Botswana is also working to establish its diamond valuation systems, another major break from the past. Traditionally, De Beers controlled how diamonds were classified, graded, and marketed, giving it an outsized influence over global pricing. But Botswana is ensuring that its diamonds are valued on its terms, rather than through a foreign-controlled standard. Once this system is fully in place, Botswana won't just be a diamond producer, it will be a market authority, capable of setting standards rather than just following them. And for De Beers, that isn't just but none of this would be complete without expertise. Selling diamonds isn't just about having a product, it's about branding, marketing, and positioning. For years, Botswana has produced some of the most valuable diamonds in the world, but few people associate the country with luxury. That's because De Beers always controlled the branding, ensuring that Botswana's name remained in the background while its labels dominated the luxury market. Now, Botswana is changing that. It is actively building its brand in the global luxury market, strengthening its expertise in trade, branding, and marketing. No longer will its diamonds be faceless commodities sent off to Europe for resale. Instead, Botswana-branded diamonds will enter the market as premium, ethical, and uniquely African luxury products, a force in the high-end jewelry sector rather than just a supplier of raw stones. We will talk about this later in the video as well. This isn't just a short-term revenue increase. This is a complete industry transformation, a shift from dependence to dominance, a move from being controlled to setting the rules. And the best part? De Beers agreed to it. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. The company that once dictated terms now finds itself conceding power, giving Botswana the time, resources, and control it needs to break free completely. By the time Botswana reaches 50% ownership, it will have gained every tool necessary to operate independently. The question won't be whether Botswana can stand on its own. The question will be, does Botswana even need De Beers anymore? If the answer is no, then this deal won't just be about securing a larger share of the diamond industry. It will be about reversing the power dynamic of the entire global trade shift. That's an existential threat. But here is the thing. Control over diamonds doesn't just come from how they are sold, it comes from how long they last. A contract that grants more ownership over production means nothing if the resource itself runs dry. That's why Botswana didn't just negotiate a better sales agreement. It secured its mining future for the next 3 decades. This wasn't an accident. Botswana understood that true power in the diamond industry isn't just about having the stones. It's about ensuring they keep flowing for generations to come. The newly signed agreement locks in diamond mining rights for Botswana until 2054, guaranteeing that its most valuable resource remains in its hands for decades. This extension doesn't just provide security, it provides stability. Botswana's economy depends heavily on diamonds, with the industry accounting for nearly 30% of its GDP and 80% of its exports. Unlike oil or other resources that fluctuate in value, diamonds retain steady global demand, making them one of the most strategic assets any country can have. By extending mining rights through multi-phase expansion projects, Botswana has ensured that its diamond production will not only continue, but will also evolve into a stronger, more technologically advanced industry. But how exactly is Botswana making sure its diamond supply remains sustainable, profitable, and secure? Diamonds aren't infinite. Every mine has a lifespan, and once the most accessible deposits are extracted, the only way to continue is to go deeper. That's exactly what Botswana is doing with its key mining projects. At the heart of this long-term strategy is Jwaneng Cut 9. The Jwaneng mine, known as the richest diamond mine in the world, has been the foundation of Botswana's diamond wealth for decades. But as the upper layers of diamonds are extracted, maintaining production requires new levels of excavation. Cut 9 is designed to extend the mine's life well into the 2030s, unlocking additional reserves that would otherwise remain buried. However, Botswana isn't stopping there. Plans for the Jwaneng underground are already in motion. This transition will allow diamond extraction to continue beyond traditional open-pit mining, ensuring that production doesn't simply decline as surface deposits are depleted. Underground mining is more technologically advanced, more precise, and more efficient, making it an essential step in keeping Botswana's diamond economy thriving. The same strategy is being applied to the Orapa mine, the second-largest diamond mine in Botswana. Orapa Cut 3 is an extension project designed to increase the lifespan of the mine by decades, preventing production slowdowns and maintaining Botswana's status as a top-tier diamond producer. Each of these mining extensions serves a greater purpose, ensuring that Botswana never faces a scenario where its diamond wealth runs dry. By securing long-term mining operations, Botswana has done more than just guarantee its economic future. It has cemented its role as a permanent force in the diamond trade. Securing a 30-year mining extension isn't just about keeping diamond production stable. It's about keeping Botswana at the center of the global diamond supply chain. The diamond market is built on stability and predictability. Buyers, investors, and manufacturers need to know that their supply won't suddenly disappear. That's why mining rights and production extensions are just as important as market control. Botswana isn't just prolonging mining operations. It's ensuring that its diamond output remains an essential part of the global economy. If Botswana's diamond production had an uncertain future, international buyers might start looking elsewhere. But with a guaranteed 30-year supply, Botswana has made itself irreplaceable in the industry. This long-term strategy also attracts more investment. Mining infrastructure requires massive financial backing, and companies only commit if they see long-term potential. With the security of this deal, Botswana will see more investment in mining technology, better infrastructure, and continued economic growth. But this extension also sends a bigger message, that Botswana is not just thinking about the next 5 or 10 years, it's thinking in decades. It's proving that it is not a temporary resource hub, it is a permanent economic force. Also, mining isn't just about extracting resources, it's about creating jobs and sustaining livelihoods. Without long-term mining rights, thousands of workers would face uncertainty, and Botswana's economy could suffer from instability. This extension protects the workforce. It ensures that mining operations remain a pillar of employment, securing thousands of jobs for decades to come. But more than that, it opens up new opportunities in the field of mining technology and engineering. As Botswana transitions to underground mining, it will require more skilled workers, more specialized expertise, and better trained professionals. This shift means that Botswana isn't just sustaining its workforce, it's upskilling an entire generation of workers, turning them into leaders in the mining industry rather than just laborers. The ripple effect of this is massive. A stable workforce leads to a stable economy, more consumer spending, more investments in local businesses, and an overall higher standard of living. The benefits of securing mining rights don't just stay within the mines, they spread throughout the entire nation. There's a reason why Botswana's negotiation didn't just focus on sales and ownership. It focused on long-term resource security. Controlling the market is one thing, but if your resource dries up, so does your power. This is what makes Botswana's strategy so powerful. It's not just thinking about diamonds as a short-term economic boost, it's treating them as a permanent pillar of national wealth. With Jwaneng Cut 9, Jwaneng Underground, and Orapa Cut 3, Botswana has built a mining roadmap that will keep it at the center of the diamond trade until at least 2054. It has secured international confidence in its supply, maintained thousands of jobs, and ensured that its mining sector keeps evolving into a more advanced, technologically driven industry. This isn't just about keeping the mines open. This is about keeping Botswana at the top of the diamond world. Not just today, not just next year, but for an entire generation. And by the time 2054 arrives, Botswana won't just be a dominant player in the diamond industry. It will be a country that rewrote the rules of resource ownership, industry control, and economic sovereignty. The mines may be deep, but Botswana's vision is even deeper. Let's not forget that for decades, diamonds left Botswana as raw stones, only to return as high-priced jewelry, with most of the profits made somewhere else. The real wealth wasn't in the mining. It was in the cutting, polishing, branding, and selling. For too long, Botswana was left out of that process. That changes now. With this new agreement, Botswana is no longer just a resource supplier. It is becoming an industrial powerhouse. The country is transforming from an exporter of raw diamonds into a producer of finished luxury goods. This isn't just an economic shift. It's an industrial revolution, one that ensures Botswana captures more value, more profits, and more control over its diamond industry. And De Beers? It isn't just agreeing to Botswana's new role, it's being forced to fund it. For years, the diamond trade followed a familiar pattern. Botswana's mines produced the diamonds, but the real money was made elsewhere. Once extracted, the stones were shipped off to cutting and polishing centers in Belgium, India, and the UAE, where they were processed, graded, and turned into high-end jewelry. By the time those same diamonds made it to luxury storefronts in London, New York, and Paris, their value had multiplied, but none of that extra wealth stayed in Botswana. That's the cycle Botswana is breaking. As part of this landmark deal, De Beers is now obligated to fund and support Botswana's industrialization of its diamond sector. This means the construction of Botswana's first large-scale diamond jewelry manufacturing facility, where the country will not only process, but also design and sell its luxury diamonds. This is more than just infrastructure. This is a shift in global power. For the first time, Botswana will have the ability to compete directly in the international jewelry market, branding its diamonds as finished, high-end products rather than just unpolished stones. And with a fully localized workforce, it won't have to rely on foreign expertise to do it. This is a transformation that few resource-rich nations have achieved. While many African countries remain stuck in a cycle of raw material exports, Botswana is proving that a nation can own every step of its resource industry, from mining to market. De Beers didn't agree to this willingly. It had no reason to. The company thrived on keeping diamond-producing nations in a subordinate role, letting them mine but never letting them manufacture or sell independently. But Botswana didn't just negotiate better terms for diamond sales. It made De Beers invest in Botswana's industrialization. The most striking example, the Diamonds for Development Fund. As part of the new agreement, De Beers is required to invest $75 million up front into this fund. But the payments don't stop there. Additional contributions from De Beers will be tied directly to Botswana's performance, meaning that the more Botswana's diamond sector grows, the more De Beers is forced to invest in its expansion. This is an unprecedented deal in the diamond industry. Rather than just handing over mining rights, Botswana has compelled De Beers to finance the very infrastructure that will reduce its dependence on the company. It's a strategy that ensures Botswana won't just have mining wealth. It will have an entire industrial framework that keeps wealth inside the country. But remember, Botswana's industrialization isn't just about money, it's about influence. For over a century, diamond valuation and certification were controlled by Western institutions. If a diamond wasn't graded and certified in Antwerp, London, or New York, it wasn't considered a premium product. This system kept power out of the hands of the countries that mined the diamonds. But now, Botswana is creating its Diamond Certification Institute, ensuring that the country doesn't just mine and manufacture diamonds, but also controls their authenticity and valuation. This move changes everything. Instead of sending diamonds overseas for grading, Botswana's stones will now be certified as premium quality products before they even leave the country. This means international buyers and luxury brands will have to recognize Botswana as a central hub of the diamond trade rather than just a resource supplier. With its grading institute, Botswana can brand itself as an ethical, sustainable, and high-end diamond producer, further increasing the value of its stones in global markets. The psychological shift is just as important as the economic one. The world has always been told that luxury diamonds come from places like Belgium, London, and New York. But the truth? They came from Botswana. Now the country is reclaiming its place as the true source of the world's most valuable diamonds and making sure that every step of the process happens on its soil. And none of this works without skilled labor. That's why Botswana isn't just building factories and certification labs, it's training an entirely new generation of experts in the diamond industry. The Vocational Training Institute being launched as part of this deal isn't just about teaching people how to cut and polish diamonds. It's about creating world-class specialists in luxury jewelry design, precision grading, and high-end craftsmanship, industries that have historically been dominated by Western nations. This is how Botswana ensures that it doesn't just own the infrastructure for diamond manufacturing, but also the knowledge, skills, and expertise needed to sustain it. It's a long-term strategy that will ensure Botswana's diamond sector is fully independent, competitive, and capable of standing on its own in the global market. This isn't just about keeping more money in Botswana. This is about rewriting the rules of the global diamond trade. By the time Botswana's jewelry manufacturing plant is fully operational, the country won't just be a top diamond exporter. It will be a player in the luxury industry. Its stones will no longer be nameless commodities sold under foreign brands. Instead, Botswana-branded diamonds will carry the prestige of an ethical, high-quality, and self-sustaining industry. This deal marks the end of the old diamond economy, where African nations mined, while Western corporations controlled the profits. Botswana is showing that a country can own its resources, process them, certify them, and sell them, all within its borders. Who do you think wins in this deal? Is Botswana making the right move? Let us know in the comments section. Do you hope to see more African nations taking control of what is rightfully theirs? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.